Buccaneers star wide receiver Chris Godwin has officially been listed as out for the team's Week 2 matchup versus the New Orleans Saints. It has also been listed that starting left tackle Donovan Smith is going to be doubtful for the matchup. Rookie Zion McCollum at cornerback is also listed at doubtful. Then you have wide receiver Mike Evans, wide receiver Julio Jones, wide receiver Russell Gage, wide receiver Brashad Perriman, running back Leonard Fournette, and right tackle Tristan Wirfs, all listed as questionable for the matchup as well. And let's break this down one at a time here. First, in the case of all the players that are listed as questionable, you look at guys like Evans, Gage, Jones, Perriman, Fournette, and Wirfs. The expectation is that those guys will play in this game. They are dealing with some nagging injuries, but they should be good to go for the Bucs Week 2 matchup. This happens, right? Teams list guys as questionable all the time, going throughout week-to-week basis on injury reports and whatnot. And at the end of the day, majority of those guys who are listed as questionable do end up playing. Now, if they were listed as doubtful, something along those lines, there was some type of reports coming out that it would be a game-time decision for some of these injuries, then there would be some more legitimate questions, but we have not seen any reports on that for these 5 players, those being the 4 wide receivers I mentioned, Fournette at running back, and Wirfs at tackle. All 5, or I guess I should say all 6 of these players will be playing in the Bucs Week 2 matchup. But let's move on to Donovan Smith and Zion McCollum. Firstly, in the case of Zion McCollum, he is still dealing with a hamstring injury that we have talked about in many previous videos. I probably wouldn't expect McCollum to be active for this game. In the case of Donovan Smith, he is dealing with an injured hyperextended elbow that he sustained in Week 1 versus the Dallas Cowboys. Todd Bowles said earlier in the week that it was mainly going to be a pain tolerance type of situation with Donovan Smith, but you also got to consider that if the doctors don't think it's a good idea for Donovan Smith to go out there and really test out that injury and really push that injury, then chances are Donovan Smith is not going to go out there and play, bottom line. But with Donovan Smith being out for this game, Josh Wells should be the expected left tackle if Smith truly can't go. Again, the expectation is doubtful, but if he can go, good. He will be dealing with a lot of pain, and that could very well hamper his play, especially considering it is a elbow type injury for Smith there. But if Smith can't go, Josh Wells will be the starting left tackle for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in week number 2. Then in the case of Chris Godwin, he is officially listed as out with this hamstring injury that he sustained in week number 1. It is not a continuation of his ACL injury that he sustained last year whenever he had played the Saints. It is a new injury entirely. And Evans, Jones, Gage, and Perriman are going to be some of those wide receivers who are going to pick up some of that slack. In the case of Chris Godwin being out here, they are all dealing with their own nagging injuries in some way, shape, or form. You also possibly expect Darden to get some more looks here moving forward. Also, Scotty Miller will more likely than not be active for this game, making his season debut for the Bucs, and possibly could see some healthier rotation of Miller and Darden, considering all these wide receivers are dealing with some nagging injuries. So that will be something worth paying attention to. But this is why you do sign guys like Gage and Jones, just in case of the injuries that can occur. There are a lot right now in the Buccaneers wide receiver room. This is why you keep a guy like Brashad Perriman as well and have so many wide receivers, because these injuries happen from time to time. Godwin is officially listed as out. We'll have to look to see how these other injured Bucs wide receivers can hopefully battle through their injuries and add some production to the passing game, as well as some other younger guys like Scotty Miller and Jalen Darden to step up in their roles as well. But folks, that is it for this final injury update going into the Bucs Week 2 matchup versus the Saints. I will have a players to watch video, or I guess I should say, I will have a players to watch video and a preview video coming out here in the next day or two, as well as the live stream at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with my reactions to the game. Stay tuned in for that as well. But anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions about these injury updates. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. I would love to hear them. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope y'all enjoyed. And I will see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.